distinguished speakers and guests we have, I wanted to sort of add that the HSS department has been at the forefront of, at IIT Tirupati, has been at the forefront of promoting academic writing workshops since its very inception. And, previous workshops have given us a very nice occasion to interact with the people all over the country. And of course, I would have really liked to meet everyone, interact with everyone face to face. But given the current situation, that is not going to be possible. Nonetheless, even though we'll be meeting each other only virtually, I wish the very best to everyone, and I hope that all of you have you all enjoy and have a a good learning experience from the workshop. So thank you very much. Your mic is muted.
Sorry. Now I request Professor K. N. Satyanarayana, our director, whose continuous support and encouragement motivate us to organize such academic events. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Dwivedi. First, I would like to start by wishing everyone very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. The program is starting on a very auspicious day. In fact, I was asking Prabhashankar, why are you starting on the Ganesh Chaturthi day? People would have planned for some pujas or other things, but anyway, it's been put in the calendar in consultation with AICT. The program that AICT has launched under this Atal scheme, AICT Training and Learning Academy, is amazing. They're planning to do about 1,500 courses this year. Last year, I think they did close to 800 or 1,000, and it's a massive exercise that they've undertaken to upgrade the knowledge of faculty members across various institutions in the country on various topics. And IIT Tirupati has been actively participating in this initiative. This year, we are offering 5 or 6 courses by our faculty members. I had 2 weeks back, I had inaugurated, every week they're having a bunch of courses. I think that week I had inaugurated 20, I was one of the chief guests for inaugurating 27 courses during that particular week. So that's the scale at which it's being done. And given the pandemic, I think the only way we can do it is online, but it's come to a big advantage also because we are able to reach out to many more people across the country, saving a lot of your travel time and having to go to different places, finding accommodation, booking tickets. All this overhead has been sort of removed. So that's one positive outcome of the COVID pandemic. It's got a lot of negative things, which worries us a lot on the impact of learning on our students, especially. But for programs like this, I think this is a great medium to deliver this. And this is the second program we are offering. We did one about 2 weeks back on from on entrepreneurship and related topic. And the next 4 topics, I think, are on technical topics. So we're covering a wide gamut of topics under this particular scheme. I understand there are about 200 candidates who have registered for the program. Is that right, Prabhashankar? 200?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I see only about 43 people, participants today. And out of which maybe we organizers itself will be about 4 or 5. So less than 40 of the participants probably are there logged in. This is something that, I don't know whether it's because of Ganesh Chaturthi, people are busy with their pujas and family commitments, but I hope you will get the group, back on engaged on the program as you go forward. Now coming to the topic of academic writing, as Rahul Sirohi, my colleague, the head of our HSS program, has uh, mentioned, the HSS program at IIT Tirupati is growing quite strongly. We recently hired some more faculty members, and with that, we expect to be about 10 faculty members among 100 about 110 or so. So we are giving equal importance, just like any other department, whether it's engineering department or science department. The humanities group is growing equally well. We have faculty members in philosophy, 2 of them, 2 in economics, 3 in English, including the people who are joining us, and other related areas. Now, the topic of academic writing, I think we have already run 2 workshops before, or 3? 2. 2 earlier.
This is the third one.
Very successfully run, very good feedback from the participants that Prabhashankar and the team had put together. So this has given us confidence, and in fact, we at the Institute are talking about creating a center for academic writing, okay, which will cater to the institutions in and around Tirupati in this zonal area. It's a major need of the hour on 2 fronts. One is, one of the things that, when we find, we keep seeing these reports on our employability of our students, and you invariably see this NASCOM and these people putting out reports that either only 20% of our students are employable or 30% only. The best I've seen is 30%. I've seen as bad as 18% or so. And one of the main things they say they're not employable is on the communication ability, which includes the ability to communicate orally or also in writing. Then coming to the academic side of it, especially on the research front, when we are doing our evaluation, evaluating our own students' theses, whether it is at the master's level or PhD level. I think most of our faculty members end up spending quite a lot of time correcting just the English and the style of writing and how to write and so on. And so there is a great need for ability to properly and it has to be taught. There's no doubt about it. It's because we have given our country's composition, our varied background from which people come. People come with so many languages that are spoken, and the way students have learned in different languages. And then when they come to finally come to their undergraduate, postgraduate levels, and the mode of communication, if it's say mostly in English, they need to pick up the skill to do it. And we need to have programs in place. No point going on blaming the students, saying that the students are, that's not my job, and so on. And I think it should be clearly recognized, and all of us have to put our effort into doing these kinds of workshops. More importantly, I think every institution should have a cell which is addressing this issue in terms of providing support to the students. In fact, many universities I've seen internationally also having cells to take care of academic writing, where people go for getting their thesis vetted and getting inputs on how to improve it and so on. And I've seen that they put together a number of very eminent speakers from various IITs, from IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, Guwahati, Patna, IIT BHU, Hyderabad, and so on, and also Central University at Sagar, Nehru Memorial Museum, FLU, and so on. Okay. Now it's interesting that I think we also need, next time we do it, we need to cast our net a little more wider outside the IIT system. Of course, you have a few IIT people in the IIT system, but also we need to cast our net a little wider, bringing the eminent speakers. Of course, some of my colleagues also are delivering talks. So with that, I wish all of you a good learning experience. I request all of you to take this seriously. I know probably many of you may have academic commitments. And one of the reasons I think they had planned on doing it over the weekend, because most of the these workshops are running Monday to Friday, but Prabhashankar and these people decided to put it together, taking a weekend also into the schedule, so that it doesn't affect your academic commitments too much. So once again, I would like to thank my colleagues for coming forward, for putting this very important program, and all the participants for taking part in this, and all the eminent speakers, including a friend of our program, Dr. Neelakantan. He's been an advisor to us in growing our humanities program. He has helped in recruiting our faculty members, and I call him up occasionally to get advice on taking things forward. So I'm very glad he's there to deliver the introductory remarks for this particular workshop. So thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I invite Professor Guru Murthy Neelakantan, our chief guest, to deliver his introductory remarks on the workshop. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Director Satyanarayana, my friend Raghuram Raju, and the head of the department, Dr. Rahul Sirogi, and the convener of this well thought out workshop, Dr. Prabhashankar Dwivedi. See, I don't need to tell you that it goes without saying, but it's always a great pleasure being at IIT Tirupati. Whether it's as an in-person meeting or it's a virtual meeting, it always gives me an enormous source of pleasure, because I think this is an institute which has come up in the past 7 or 8 years. But I always believe all great institutes in the world, whether they're our IIT system or our ancient Nalanda, Takshashila, or even the Ivy League schools or University of Chicago, I mean, all these great institutions are guided by a certain vision, right? So I think already this institute is a fledgling institute, is trying to do its best. It has a nearby great competitor, IIT Madras, but still I think you're trying to distinguish yourself from many other institutions, including IIT Madras, which is your mentor institution. And ever since in some ways, I see at one point of time, it was told that IIT Tirupati has a maximum number of female participants, girl students. See, that was thought to be quite radical. Probably, I think that we're still maintaining that. This is one institute which is continually responding to societal needs and also the changing intellectual currents, right? Whether it's in engineering or sciences or even in humanities. The workshop that we are doing today, this workshop is being run for the third time on this campus. This is one such example. Of course, usually when we talk about the IIT system and vis-a-vis the HSS department there, see, myself and my friend Professor Raghuram Raju, both are from the IIT system. Both of us studied at IIT Kanpur, which has a very vibrant HSS department. But there's always a sense of isolation, right? The kind of our discourses are much more inward looking. Sometimes things of the past we examine, but then technology is always, even modern is something, it's contemporary. They're all the time moving with the currents, and there is some kind of a disconnect there. But I always believe, I think HSS departments in IITs, they have an enormous role to play. They are very central to the system. In fact, most administrators recognize that, but unfortunately, people in the HSS department themselves, enjoy a kind of isolation. But this is one IIT where that has been broken right from the beginning, right? See, I know some IITs where academic, including my own IIT, where academic writing courses are taught at the undergraduate level, maybe to 70 students, 60 students, but nowhere I have seen a full-fledged workshop being run. 2 years ago, I think the first program you had invited somebody from the UCFI, an American expert had come and participated. That's very useful because the American universities insist too much on this academic writing, and I think it's always better to seek the help of UCFI or somebody and get a speaker. I think you should continue that this thing. And this is a wonderful program, and then I have participated in it the past 2 years. And then we have got excellent feedback, as the director was just now mentioning. But we have to work on that feedback and tailor make it to serve the needs of our young minds in the country. And then, of course, everyone says that everyone talks about academic writing, but honestly, nobody understands what academic writing is, right? That's the problem with this thing. So at least if we can put our arts together, our minds and arts together, and then try to kind of sensitize these young people, these young professionals, be they engineers or doctors or social scientists, into very clear writing clear prose, thinking about in very neat ways, then it will be a great service. And as I see it, today we have something like 200 participants lined up for this program. Some of them are doctors, some of them are engineers, some of them are maybe social scientists, some of them come from humanities background. But the way we have been trained is very different, but all of us are attacking the same thing, which is academic writing. And most people think academic writing is, today I think texting is everything, sending smileys, this kind of a writing has taken over. The training and mechanics of writing, formal prose, the difference between what you can say informally and what you can say formally, that people, I think, they don't understand those things. Of course, we don't need to be absolutely formal. Even in journal publication, it's becoming increasingly semi-formal. So I think if we can kind of sensitize our young people to the medium of writing itself, how to write, what to write, and how to kind of fashion the content. Every piece of communication is a problem-solving activity, right? You have to be persuasive. You have a problem to solve. It's not necessarily always a technical problem. Sometimes it's a human problem. You have to solve a problem through a piece of communication, whether it's drafting a memo or whether it's drafting a report or whether it's applying for a project. At the end of it, you should have achieved something, right? So we should keep that in mind when we work on this kind of courses. Communication is eminently a problem-solving activity. And then that is the approach we have been taking so far. And I think many speakers will come up with different ideas. Some will talk about research writing. Some people will talk about project proposals. But eventually, it all adds to the best practices in academic writing. So I have a small part in this. I am very, very happy about that. Of course, this is one institution which I would like to see grow, and this is one department which I am greatly connected to. And I think all the best for your 4 days program. I am thankful to the director and all of you for having me here. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words. Now I request my senior colleague, Professor Raghuram Raju, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Prabhashankar Dwivedi, the convener of this very important 5-day workshop on AICTE training and learning academic the Atal program on capacity building through academic and research writing. And I thank our director who has located or contextualized the department, particularly both in terms of spatial and mental idea of the HSS within the larger context of engineering and science institutions like IIT, which is a very important thing because, as Professor Nilkantan pointed out, that there is this imminent danger that one gets lost. So the location, the geographical and also mental, intellectual location, particularly at the very beginning of inception of the institution, can go a wrong way in trying to shape the nature of the department. So thank you, sir, for for doing that very seminal kind of a reminder to both people in HSS and also outside. I also thank Professor Gurumurthy Nilkantan from IIT Kanpur for enlarging the scope of academic writing and also looking at what are the various dimensions that were not covered and need to be covered and can be covered. I think that that very brief kind of intervention has really covered these three different aspects of the program. And thank you, Professor Neelakantan, for that. I thank all the resource persons who are going to deliver the lectures on various important and very important aspects of academic writing, which is very important. Because India, you all know, is adding in terms of number. We are in the forefront of very few people in the amongst these things. But in terms of quality, I think we need to really pay a real attention so that we not only grow in quantity but also grow in quality. I also thank our head of the department, Dr. Rahul Sirohi, for welcoming all of you. And I welcome on behalf of the institute and department and all of us, all the participants, and the response has been overwhelming. And I look forward to your enjoying and learning a lot of things in this very seminally important program that is going to be covered by this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Now I'll see all the participants in the workshop sessions. We have shared a link, so please log in using that link. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
A separate link for the workshop session, then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you then. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All the best.
Yeah.